What's up, guys? It's your boy Perucho back with another episode of Percast, and we're at episode 10. Holy hell, dude! I've been doing this for quite a while, and our guest today for this episode is John. Say what's up, John.
What's up?
It's my boy John. He was one of my suite mates from Broomfield College. Actually, my first suite mate too. As a matter of
Yeah.
fact, dude. Well, the way we usually kick these things off is like how we met, and we obviously met before that. Like we knew who we were.
Yeah. I knew before you moved into the suite,
Mm-hmm.
I knew you from the equipment lab. I think mostly before that, and also classes before that as well. But I don't think I knew you as well back then.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Like we knew each other's like, which is well, not really acquaintance either, right? We just we just knew we existed. Would you say
Yeah,
that?
yeah. You just kind of like when your name came up, and so I was like, oh, Zamir's moving in with us. I was like, oh, yeah, I know Zamir.
Cause
He's a chill guy.
we had what computer science classes together, and we had game
Yeah,
classes together,
yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Dude, like I keep every time in this oh my god words, and when I have like a guest and it's part of one of my suite mates, I always tell them how how they send you the email before you move in, like saying who's your suite mates and such.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I got that email, I'm like, oh, I know him. Oh, I know him. Oh, what the hell? I know him. I know everybody on this list.
Hell yeah, bro.
Yeah, I'm like, dude,
You got
no freaking
you got
way.
lucky though, cause you went random, right?
Dude, I had to go random. I couldn't choose, they said. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
are you
yeah.
serious?
You got lucky. I think Stos pulled some strings for you,
Mm-hmm. That's what he said. He's
but
like, yeah,
still,
you got lucky, and I think they said I was like on the name of the list, I think.
say your name. What on what list?
Like, I think it was like a list of like new people that were going to dorm, and then like they showed those like, oh, here's a list of,
Oh yeah,
because I think during the time you guys were looking for somebody.
yeah. We were looking for one other person.
Wait, were you in the suite with them when they had that one random?
Oh, fucking God, what was his name? Chris?
I think so. I think it was
I think so. It
Kyrie's
was junior
random.
year. Yeah, it was Kyrie's random. Yeah, I was there.
Did you have some horrible experiences? Or nah, not at all.
I never had, I never had any bad experiences with him, but just like him being there
Hmm.
because he was a cat student and he owed equipment. And at the time, Stos was still working there.
Hmm.
So me, Stos, uh, Antoine were all working in the equipment lab with Shane working as a lab assistant.
Mm.
So you've got pretty much half the equipment lab roster in one room and you owe us equipment. So kind of every time I saw him, we wouldn't say anything to him, but every time we saw him, I just kind of think to myself, be like, man, he's either going to give us back that camera or owe us like $4,000.
It'll be funny like the camera's like on this room, like on this bed. You're like, you gonna
There was
return that
actually
anytime
a
soon?
day, and I mean, it's been a couple of years. I can say it. I don't think this is illegal. There was just one day he left and he just had the camera out on his desk,
Really?
and we had known about the camera for I think at that point a couple months, and we just went, why don't we just look through it? What has he got
Bruh.
in here? What does he need the camera for?
I guess he still
Um,
has his SD in there.
yeah, he still had his SD card in there.
Ah,
So we looked through the camera and he was just taking fucking like photo shoots of girls.
what the hell?
Like he would just bring girls back to the room and they'd be like clearly not like fucking Sports Illustrated kind of stuff.
Hmm.
But it's like I don't know how good of a photo you can get because his side of the room was messy as shit, bro.
Yeah. Oh my
Holy
god.
fuck. He had the biggest thing was he had a box of cereal and a gallon of milk in his closet.
That's what I was about to bring up.
Yeah. We found it. We saw it. We were like, what the fuck, man? Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know if anyone ever talked to him about it. I think we brought up CRA. It's like, hey, he's just not cleaning his room. Like,
Hmm.
it's just, it's shitty. I think they talked to him a little bit, but he just fucking went on with it for a while.
He never talked
Yeah.
to you guys, right?
No, he never talked to us, which is fine. I'm okay with that
I
because
think.
he was,
Hmm.
he's doing his own thing. which was something. I don't know what he was doing really, but it was something.
Testing out how long milk can last in his closet, I guess.
Apparently, must have been an experiment.
Yeah, and he was taking pictures daily, like, this looks different from
He
the
was
other
secretly
day.
a bio major, just looking at how milk ferments in room temperature spaces.
Oh my god. Oh, guys, one thing. If you need a security guard, yo, John is your man,
Oh
yo.
hell yeah, bro!
John is
That's
your
why I
man.
take that. That's why I take the seat in front of the door, bro. As
Yo, every
soon as
time,
someone walks in, I want to know who it is.
every time I walk by, you look, you're like, checking me. Cause, well, there's a reason you do that, right? It's because of that, the year before that, because of those random girls that came in.
Yeah, I during both. Yeah, the year before, because you moved when that was our senior year,
Hmm.
our junior year. At the end of the year, there was just like two girls and a guy who just opened up our door, and they're just like talking, like looking around, and we were like, can we help you? And they're like, oh, we're gonna be moving into this room next year, so we just wanted to check it out. And we're like, get the fuck out of here. This is our room. This isn't your room yet. What the fuck?
Confirmed, they weren't. Like, it wasn't an RA or anything, right? Either.
No, they were just students. They just
Bruh.
opened up the door, walked in, and we're like, oh, okay, it's pretty nice in here. We're like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, we're just checking out the room. We're gonna move here next year. And it's like, okay,
I mean, it's not your room
sure.
now, but you know.
It's our room now, and yeah, fucking get out of here. Like, I
Jesus.
don't get those people, man. They're just so fucking crazy. Like, what compels you to just go, yeah, we'll just walk in. It's fine. It's fine.
The
Don't worry
audacity
about
to
it.
just freaking walk in, right?
Like, actually, though, like, you want me walking in on your room, and like, what if I was just sitting there beating my meat? Like, come on.
Bruh.
Like, run out of the room, call me like a fucking pervert, and then it's like, well, then why did you walk in?
Caught you off guard. They caught you slipping.
Bruh, they didn't catch me slipping. I'm finishing.
Bruh. Oh my god. But yeah, yo, every time I walked into the suite, yo, the security man is always looking at you like, all right,
Hell
I
yeah,
know this
bro.
fella. He's part of the suite. You got the access. Oh my. Oh yeah. Now that I remember, obviously we both major in the same major was game program, right?
Me and who?
Yeah, me and you.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You didn't do game design, right? Or did you? Like double major.
No, I didn't double major.
There a reason why you didn't, or just because you
Yeah,
didn't
I
want
mean,
to?
yeah, I just didn't want to because I was like, the whole reason I took up programming was like, I'm not good at design.
Mm.
So, having to like draw stuff out or like, actually think of creative ideas, it's like, I don't do that. I can't do that.
But dude, damn, you be killing it with some of the models you create, bro. Yo, guys, you should check out this dude's Twitter, man. Oh
Yeah.
man.
But, oh man, that was another thing. I kind of just picked that up. I was like, I just need an elective, and I took 3D modeling, and I was immediately just like, fucking, this is it.
This is Ichi.
This is what I can do.
But dude, they're so like detailed and like holy hell, dude. How much time did they
Yeah.
take to do?
Some of them, I mean, some of them like most yeah, probably the most recent one I've done and I've posted.
Mm-hmm.
That was over the course of I think about a month and some change, just over that for the full process.
Mm.
Because that was in tandem with the word is escaping me, mentorship.
Ah.
So I worked with someone and they kind of gave me the step up to be like, hey, here's like you have a good base of modeling, but like here's how to make game models. Because it's like
Oh.
because there's a big difference in process
Oh,
that like
okay.
I had no idea. And holy shit, like pretty much everything I learned, because I didn't learn how to make game models, I just learned how to make 3D models.
Yeah.
So like everything I learned about making models, just kind of like pick it up and just throw it in the trash.
Damn, are you serious?
Like pretty much after you get your shapes down, the whole process changes
Holy hell.
because there's so many other things you have to worry about when making for a game engine. So it's like, I think he said, because the guy I worked with, he works at Ubisoft.
Mm-hmm.
he told me, the one thing we don't care with the current generation of like graphics cards and consoles, we don't care about poly counts anymore. We really don't care. We don't care about we can render a fuckload of poly counts. It's
In like
like
seconds.
yeah, it's like it takes no time at all. But
Mm-hmm.
where it gets difficult is when we're using textures. So
Figures. Mm-hmm.
so for everyone out there who doesn't know, textures just literally take a photo and square it off and put it on a model. That's a texture.
Yep. Just slap it on it.
Now textures, the bigger you get, we keep them in squares. So there's pretty much the lowest you're going to want to go is like 1024. But if you're doing a small prop, you can do 516 pixels across.
Uh,
Um, but we'll normally go 1024 all the way up to 8K. But like the higher you go, the longer it takes to load them
yeah.
because we're loading from memory and we're trying to keep it all together and keep as much as we can in I think in I believe it's RAM for graphics cards, like their own
Oh,
onboard,
VRAM?
their VRAM, yeah. So we try to keep as much as in there as possible because we can just quickly pull that.
Yeah.
So the more you have, the longer your load times are, and then the more detailed they are, the longer it will take for you to load those assets. So something like a 4K image, that can
Mm-hmm.
take up to like 12 seconds to load. Like it's a lot of time.
Yeah, it is.
But if we reuse the same textures over and over again, we can cut down on load times while increasing efficiency.
Because it's not trying to like process, I guess, like new thing. You're just reusing
Yeah.
the one that.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so we're just reusing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So if the texture for a car is the same across an entire city, cool. Every time we look at a car, we don't need to load anything. We already have it in memory. We don't need to grab it and bring it in. We don't have to load that. So that's where the efficiency comes in, and we try and keep our texture counts as low as possible to the point where, I mean, Zamir, you know what a normal map is, right?
Yeah.
I was told by him, if you want to pack the shit out of stuff, so what you can do is you can take an image and separate its red, green, and blue channels and even alpha channels and take them separately. So if you're only having a 0 to 1 scale of color, you can just pack it into the red channel and pull the red channel to do what you need to do. Same for green, same for blue, and same for alpha. But if you really want to pack stuff and you really got to pack stuff tight, it's been known that people are taking normal maps, and we have the red, green, and blue channel. Red and green contain a lot of information. Blue doesn't. So we reuse the blue channel and just give it the texture, and we pull it from that.
Really?
Yeah. So if you really want to pack something hard, it's like you can throw it into your normal map's blue channel and get more and get more life out of it.
Oh my
Like if
god.
he said that's not uncommon, but it's pretty rare to come across. Like you
Ah.
shouldn't need to do that. That's
I
if you're
see.
like, I need to throw another texture in here somehow. So that's a big one that even I'm just
That just blew my mind.
yeah, that's a big thing. A lot of models, they barely even use bevels for their edges anymore. That's all normal map trickery, or excuse me, vertex map trickery. You actually show me. There's actually it's a specific thing. It's a fire truck in The Last of Us 1 that has a texture glitch on it that somehow made it past quality control. And like if you look on the side of it, they tried to do what's called a vertex normal weighting.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you literally just take one bevel, but because of how the vertex are angled, how their normals are angled, it makes
Yeah.
it look smoothed. But that can also mess up a bigger plane, and that's what happened in The Last of Us 1. And if you look at it, you can see that there's a problem in its normals
Oh, what the hell?
that just got missed. Yeah, like it's like the only one in the game because the game looks beautiful.
Yeah.
But like, it's just one of the things you see, and you're just like, oh, well, that's kind of neat. Somebody missed that.
I'm trying to figure like who like spotted that because I'm pretty sure, you know.
Yeah, I fucking beats me now. I mean, the game's been out what 6 years
I think didn't it come out
almost.
like 20? What 20? What the hell am I saying? Jesus, I'm wait, yeah, 2012 or somewhere around there. 2013.
2013.
Yeah,
Yeah, 2013. I mean, Last was one fire truck.
yeah. Like what the hell? I could have mad because I feel like it would be somewhere like the fire truck would be somewhere that you're not supposed to go to, or you could just explore where the hell you want.
Yeah, no, it's in like a pretty main area.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's in like the first area you get into. Oh, yep, there it is.
Ah.
Yeah, there are texture glitches on this fire truck in The Last of Us 1.
The more you know.
The more you know, man.
Dude,
That's that hidden stuff.
aside from like some of the models that you do too, even though like you created this game technically, yeah, last year, freaking, what's the name of your game again? Your capstone game?
Oh, mechanized assault.
Dude, th those models were so pretty to look at. I'm not gonna lie to you about. It's
I'm not gonna lie to you. I look at them now and I'm disgusted.
yeah. I mean, I could imagine after
I look at them now.
you learned all this stuff and you're like, bro, I can make this so much
I
better.
look back at it and I'm like, man, at the time I was like, hell yeah, this is this is the shit. Like
You're proud?
I'm proud of this. I
Uh-huh.
look at it now and I'm like, man, this just is not the same. I could have done so much better, but
Your eyes were
I
open.
was doing so much that I couldn't.
Would you say you'll be disgusted at your old self?
I would. I would be. I wish I scaled back my game more
Dude,
because I think I could have done a lot more polish.
yo, guys, this guy's been working his capstone game like for what, 2 years, I think, or 3 years?
I worked on it I think about 2.5 years. It's technically been in development technically. So that's probably the yeah, I'd say about 2.5 years. It started in like it has like 3 different phases.
Oh, I
There's
remember.
yeah, so there was the really early one I made February of 2017.
That was like your
2017. That
sophomore year,
was
right?
Group Game 1.
Group game one,
Yeah.
really?
Actually, no, not Group Game 1. Group Game 1 was the second version. The first version I made just as like a dumb prototype that just didn't really have a whole lot to it.
Maybe game programming?
No, this was just a side project.
Oh,
Well, game programming was a little bit of a part of it, but
but you're just
uh,
doing your own thing.
yeah. So I
Hmm.
was just doing my own thing, and it was just like its own like dumb prototype, like barely any movement, very rigid. You know, I was just kind of messing about, and then Group Game Project 1, our final, I was just like, hey, I have these models that I've made, and I've done a little bit of like basic coding. Do you want to like work with that?
Hmm.
Everyone's like, yeah, we already have it, like, you know, partway done. It's like, okay, cool. So we went ahead with it and we made a super early version that certainly wasn't good. Uh, so about I'd say I think like April of the next year, 2018, I finally went ahead to and redid everything, literally everything. Like all the
Jesus.
models, took another pass in Maya, changed it all, rewrote all of my code because I just learned so much more in between the projects that I was like, I can't work off of this. Like I have to start at a clean slate.
I know
So I
that feeling.
did, and then I worked through the summer on it, and then prototype day happened for Capstone, and I got the go ahead. So then I continued forward, and 2019 May of 2019 I launched Mechanized Assault.
Guys, this guy would be working on this game night and day.
And to be honest, it was kind of disgusting how much time I put into it.
Really?
Yeah, you know, it's one of the things I kind of regret doing such a big project. Like, sure, it was great, and I learned a whole lot, but like, just like you said, like I was working night and day on that
Yeah,
project.
dude, oh my,
Like, it
guys,
was tough.
I remember I'll leave the dorm, he's working on this capstone. I come back, he's still on this computer, just working on this game. I'm like, damn, dude.
Just chugging away at it.
Yep. I mean,
It
at
was,
least granted, you gave yourself some breaks too. At least you're not like
yeah, you know,
all day, every day.
yeah, you know, I gave myself some breaks, but you know, it got to a point where I just had so much to do that was like, I'm not gonna have all the bugs fixed. I'm not gonna have all the features I want. You know, this thing could look a little bit better, but I had about, you know, 2 days to make this level. You know,
And then presented.
and then I had to present it, and then I had the catastrophe of build day. I don't know.
Oh.
Did you know about that?
Well, oh my God, guys, game developer advice. Something will go wrong in your game development.
Something will always go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Never think it won't. If you think it won't, you're wrong.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and oh, especially if it's like near like what you say like near the deadline. There you go. If it's
Yeah,
near the
near the
deadline,
deadline.
something will go
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah, yeah. Something will go wrong. I had the unfortunate luck of building my game. So about the week before I released
Mm-hmm.
was final day, build your games, release them.
Yep.
By 2 p.m., release your game. And I was like, cool. So I built it, and before I hit the release button, I was like, you know what, let me just play it. Just make sure it works. That's always good.
Yeah, of
And so I
course.
so I
Test it.
load up the game, and all of the text fonts are broken.
Oh, dude.
And it's just squiggle garble glitchy mess. You can't read anything. All the buttons and everything, all the mechanics still work, but you can't read anything.
Can you read the menu or the title?
You could not read anything, and I fucking had a heart attack.
Jesus
I was like,
Christ.
holy shit. I was like, oh my god. I'm like, well, this is fucked. So I told her professor, and she was like, that's fine. Just release it next week. Release it when it's ready. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And so I immediately went to I was using a special font system because Unity font is fine. Also, I was using Unity for the project if anyone didn't know. Unity font is fine, but once you start getting to smaller font sizes, it starts getting a little blurry.
Yeah.
So I was using Text Mesh Pro, and they're great because they take your text and they turn it into a mesh. So it's still UI, but it's sharper, it's
Yeah.
crisper. And so I immediately get on the forums and I message the team at Unity, and I'm like, hey, what the fuck? And I had to wait a couple days, but literally that same day it happened, I spent 2 hours in the game dev lab making a fix. So I took all of my text, turned it back to Unity font,
Mm-hmm.
and then had to go through all of my code and change anything labeled Text Mesh Pro to just font or just text.
Oh my
And that took
God.
forever.
Oh, dude, all your
Uh,
scripts. Jesus
and
Christ, dude.
it was fun. And I had to go through every single thing with UI text and change it back to Unity text, and that sucked.
Oh my
That
God.
sucked a lot because
God,
I had so many fucking UI objects, bro.
guys, I remember I think I was in the dorm or yeah, I think I was in the dorm when this happened. I don't know if I just walked out of my room and I just saw it, but I know I walked out and then I just see you like panicking. I'm like, yo, what's going on with your game?
I probably showed it to you.
Yeah, I feel like you let like a little yo, you're like, dude, what? Come on. And then I'm like, what's
Oh
going on?
yeah,
And then I'm like, what's going on here? And then all I see is the text. I'm like, oh, that's not good. Oh my
nope.
God. But yeah, that's one of the unluckiest moment in your life that I know
It
for
really
game
was,
development.
really was.
I don't know if that's
That
the
was a tough
that
one.
I don't know if that's the story you're gonna tell, or if you're gonna tell a different one.
Well, yeah, no. Then I got they finally got back to me, and it was like a simple fucking problem. Pretty much because it turns into a mesh render, it makes it a material, a texture.
Yeah.
Unity can only render upon building so many textures. I had too many, so I had to delete objects in my scene for it to actually render.
Really?
Yeah, so I had to delete like 10 background props, and it
Hmm.
worked. So it was a simple fix, but it's one of those things that you just never want it to happen.
Yeah, and then at the moment too, like like you said, the assignment was to release the game, right? And
Yeah,
you're like, dude, I gotta get this out. I can't.
yeah. So I just released it the next week, and they still marked me full for it because they were like, yeah, that's a problem.
And
I
what's
think I think I
hmm?
think Mark, the other professor, was a little bit like, oh, you should test your game beforehand, and I was like, oh, well, you should shut up.
But at least the other professor, since she actually works on games and such,
Yeah,
she knows.
she was like, it's fine, just
Yeah, issues like these happen. Like we were saying, guys, before, something will go wrong.
Yeah, she
and
was
you
she
had
was
to be
waiting for
prepared.
it, and I just unfortunately that year got the catastrophe of a bug.
Jesus,
So
dude.
I feel like every year someone's got to get the catastrophe. Someone's got to get it,
It's,
and it was me. I was doing too well during my development.
dude, that even gave me a little hard time. Like, no, not my boy, not like this, not in
Oh, it
this
was
big
tough.
moment. Cause that
It
same
was,
day you had like you were promoting it too, like it was gonna release on
yeah.
that day,
Oh
right?
yeah. I had like everything saying that it was gonna release that day in April, and I was like, well, fuck, I can't release it. I was like, well, here we go.
Jesus, man. Game development, programming. I love programming, to be honest with you. But when there's issues like that and you're just panicking, sometimes mm, it can make you grow some weight here. I'll say that.
Yeah. Yeah, I like programming. Programming is one of those things. It's like I like doing it, but man, can it be bad?
And
It
stressful,
it can just be the most stressful thing ever, or like the most like therapeutic thing.
especially if you have deadlines too.
Oh, deadlines are the worst. Deadlines are the worst, man.
Guys, oh my, another thing too is another statement to show you or tell you guys how much time he put into this. Like in classes, sometimes he'll just be working on this game as well off to the side.
Oh yeah, yeah. If I could have my laptop out, I'd just be like, I'm just gonna do a little bit of modeling. I don't care what this teacher says. I'm gonna pass this class.
Or you already know what the hell's going on already. You're like, it's
Yeah, it's like
whatever.
I already did this assignment. I don't need to look.
Because the one class I do remember is when we had a class for Pilates and maybe somebody else. I'm not sure, but I remember in Pilates class, I think you sat like a seat away from me, or two seats away from me, and then I just see you working.
Yeah,
I'm like, dude, this game looks cool. Did he do all of this? And hell yeah, he did. He made it from
hell yeah.
scratch.
Made it all from scratch.
Wait, what kind of you have a short pitch for it,
If I can remember it.
right?
What was my short pitch for it?
Or just come on at the spot.
Uh,
Does it
yeah.
matter?
Mechanized Assault is a fast-paced third-person mecha action game full of customization and different enemies.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
you could customize like your freaking
Oh
weapons
yeah,
and
you
such,
can
right? And
customize everything. I did a lot of customizing for that. You could do weapons, shoulder-mounted stuff, the actual chassis you use, and like different add-on stuff
dude,
for like extra shields and ammo.
you know what was another cool thing too during that development you were going through
Yeah.
is when you remember you had the business cards and then like I think you had Unity or a Unity program on your phone and you're like, yo, Zamir, check this out. I'm like, well, what's up?
Oh yeah,
And then like the model
yeah.
popped up. I'm like, what the hell? That's so cool. That was AR or no?
Yeah, it was. It was
Ah,
AR. I did that for a bit. I couldn't get it to work the way I wanted it to, and so I had to scrap it part way through just because I couldn't get an app out, and the way I wanted it to present itself, it just I think it was because of how the models were made. It just could not render two models at a time or more than one model. So the one that I had on there just had to stay, and I couldn't do anything else. And I was like, well, here we go. So I had to cut that early,
hmm.
and I actually made I mostly cut it because I had to cut it due to the fact of I made a modification to something in there, and I cannot remember what I did. I changed around some code, or I changed around a model or something, or like I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe it's a glitch in the project I have. Let me make a new project, and I just couldn't get it to work again. And I was just like, you know what? Yeah, I'm done with this.
I mean, at least it wasn't something like important to your project, right? At least it was something like some cool stuff in the side.
Yeah, yeah. It wasn't important. It wasn't a deal breaker,
Hmm.
but it's still kind of like, man, that would have been cool.
That would have definitely been cool. And then you had like all these, dude. You're promoting your game like pretty damn well with social media, and then you had like stickers and such. Didn't you have like
Yeah,
buns? I think, or no,
yeah. I had buttons.
dude.
Yeah, I had all that. I had buttons. I was going ham on social media.
You're going all out for this project.
I really was because I was trying to make it my like not my not end all be all,
Where you stand out.
But like my standout thing that I could show someone and they'd be like, "Whoa, that's cool." So that was the project, but it just never turned out that way.
I still have your sticker to this day on my laptop.
Hey, hell yeah.
I forgot. I don't know, cause there's three. You have like what was it? Three rigs, right?
Yeah,
That's
I
what the
had,
rig.
I had three I had three rig frames.
There you go.
Yeah, I had three frames you could choose from.
All
That
right.
was that was what I had.
All right. I have to ask you this stuff. Would you is the reason I guess you're into like all this mech stuff and such because of Gundam or nah?
How did I get into all this mech stuff? So most of it came from Gundam. As a kid, I had a very niche like thing of like I like robots and science. I think it's cool.
Sci-fi.
And I didn't have a whole lot of like games connected to that. It was just kind of like, robots are cool. If
Hmm.
a game had a robot, I was like, ooh, this is neat. And then about in high school, yeah, in high school, finally was I had known of Gundam. I just had never watched any, and I finally met someone in high school. His name was Jake. He watched Gundam, and he was
Mm.
like, "Oh wait, have you watched these shows?" And I was like, "No, I know of them, but I haven't watched them." He's like, "Oh, dude, you'd love them." And so he gave me a recommendation of what to start with, and I just went from there. And I was like, "Man, I really love mechs." And then probably about the same time, actually, I think maybe a little bit earlier, I had gotten into Armored Core,
Why does it sound so familiar?
the mech game.
Oh,
So Armored Core was another one that's just like where I first played Armored Core and I was like I had an Xbox 360, so I played Armored Core 4, Four Answers, 5, and Verdict Day. Four Answers being the best out of them. And there was another one that I played the shit out of that game. I 100%ed it. They didn't have any achievements though, but I 100%ed the game.
Jesus. This, this guy right here likes his mechs. I know that for
Oh, I
sure.
like my mechs. It was also about the same time I got into Gundam that I got into Gunpla models.
Dude, oh my God. So, I'm gonna tell a quick story. Dude, I remember when I first came in there, and then I think, no, you weren't working on it, but I think you just had the big Gundam box. I remember I saw
Mhm.
them in like in a Japanese store. I'm like, damn, yeah, I wonder who the hell is ever gonna get that, right? Because it's pretty damn expensive if you ask
Oh
me.
yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, I'll never meet a guy that like is gonna build that kind of stuff. Next thing you know, guys, freaking, I walk in. I think it was yeah the first day we were all moving in. All I see is this huge box on the table. I'm like, who is this? And he's like, that's mine. I'm like, dude, your building's like, yo, how
Oh
long
yeah.
did that take you?
I think it took me about a week on and off and between classes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, about a week. And it took me a little bit longer because the one specifically for that, it had a light system that
Oh,
that you can buy and you can put into it,
yeah.
but I didn't buy it because it's, the disparity between the one that comes with the lights and one that doesn't is like $150.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what, the lights aren't worth that. I'm
So,
already
like,
putting down like $300 on this.
yeah, guys, this
So
this model wasn't small. It huge.
it's not small. No, it's not a small model. It's probably one of the I shouldn't say the biggest they have because that's not right. They have bigger ones. But it's one of the biggest out of the perfect grade lineup.
It's
But
what's the model called?
it's the Gundam Exia
Mm.
from Gundam 00.
Oh, I remember you because some of the parts are like tiny, right?
Yeah, some of them get pretty small. There's actually only one. They have different sizes, so it goes
Hmm.
high grade, real grade, master grade, perfect grade.
Hmm.
High grade and real grade are the same 1 to 144 scale, but real grade is much more intricate for its size.
Yeah.
And there's a group of there are people who live by it, and that just gets too small. I can't deal with it. It's too small and it's too fragile, and I'm just like, nah, I don't want to. I got big meaty claws. I ain't trying to do these row grades anymore. I built one a while ago, and it was maybe the third or fourth that I had, and they're cool kits. They're really nice, but they're just too small
But
for
the fact,
for the for the intricacy. It's too small.
but the fact it just takes a while to build them. I know that for sure.
Yeah, it takes so long.
This guy he was on it, like on and off, yeah, but like at least I would say at least every day he will tackle at least an hour or so onto it.
Yeah, at least.
hmm And then it was so cool just seeing the progress of just you know it starts off like small, and then like you see kind of the legs and you're like, oh, he's getting there, and then you see like the torso and such. I'm like, oh, he's really close, and then you see like the headpiece, and I'm like, oh, that's tough. That looks so sick.
Yeah, it's great. I personally I'm a fanboy for the Gundam 00 kits and models because I think they look the best.
Mm.
They're probably my favorite.
And
So
you,
I'm all about them.
and you have like quite a record of like how many you build, because I remember
Oh
I
yeah.
I thought like what that would be like your fifth or something. You're like, nah, dude, look, this is how much I have. I'm like, holy, dude.
Yeah, I got an entire probably 2 or 3 shelves worth 30 or 40.
And yeah, dude, and they all like come from different sizes, small to medium,
Yep.
and freaking enormous.
The large ones I built.
And then it's funny because you say you're building it at home, right? And you brought it over to finish it.
I was planning on building it at home, but I brought it with me because your roommate, Kevin, he's
Yeah.
also a Gundam guy, and I was like, hey, I'll bring it, work on it at school, and it actually worked out perfectly because the one of the classes I had, physical computing,
Oh.
our final project was to make, it was Arduino. It's Arduino LEDs, lights,
Mhm.
switches, and one of the you have your final project, and I was like, you know what? I didn't buy a light kit for this kit.
Oh
Let me
my
make one.
god. Nice.
And so I made one, and I fit into all the pieces. I did all the final detailing on it, and it
Mhm.
it will light up, and yeah,
Dude, I wish I seen. I didn't. I
you
didn't have
probably
no.
totally have seen it.
No way. I've never seen it.
I think you have.
I know I've seen the whole model, but I don't think I've seen it with the light kit on. Or maybe he told me about it, but I just
Yeah, I probably told you about it. Yeah.
This is weird. I don't like to be honest. When you're telling this now, I'm like, I don't
Oh,
remember this.
damn. I wish I could light it up now, but I took apart the Arduino for a different project.
Dude,
So
that sounds
I gotta
cool.
I gotta I gotta reconnect everything and throw the code back into it.
That sounds cool,
That's
dude. To be
that's that's
honest,
stuff I have to do later.
at least you saved yourself 150 bucks.
I did. I saved myself $150 by spending like $30 on kit for it on electronics.
I remember like how I was telling you how I saw in the Japanese store. I looked at the two boxes. I'm like, why is this more expensive than the other one? And then I think I brought it up to you. I'm like, oh, there's like this other one, and I don't know why it's more expensive. You're like, oh, because he has LED lights. I'm like, oh, that makes much more sense then.
Yeah. The light kit, because the thing about the light kits are so small, and like all the connectors are so tiny as well that
A
it sucks
hassle.
it sucks they have the premium for it, but that's how it is.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Even though I'm a collector myself on just collecting figures, I wanted to try like actually do like a model kit. But you guys have like some tools like to help you out, right? Like freaking
Yeah.
like would you call it a scraper, like to scrape off some of the plastic off?
So you have the most basic thing you need are a pair of plastic nippers.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, as long as you have those, you can build a model kit. It's not gonna look good, but build one. But they're getting better at it. So let me tell you why that's the fact, and then I'll let me finish talking about what you need. So you can
Mm-hmm.
get the next thing you should probably get is an X-Acto knife,
Ah.
uh, and then you can do sandpaper, and there are markers you can get to outline certain parts, and it's called panel lining. So it just separates colors. And It's good for separation.
Yeah.
And then there's every kit. Most kits come with stickers that you can then apply to add more detail. And it's just overall, it's overall pretty simple stuff. Everything's labeled and instructions stay pretty clear. Now, the reasons that getting just nippers, you'll make up a kit, but it won't look good, is that when you cut them off of it, well, the thing that it comes on, is called a runner. That's what we call it. We call runners. And when you take the nipper and you cut off the what are they called? There's a name for the part that then connects it
Yeah,
to the part because it's all one plastic mold.
exactly. You just
So
gotta like either
so
pop them up or something if
I
you don't
think they're
have nippers,
called
right?
I think they're called trees. I think they're called trees or branches. But it's how the plastic gets into the mold to
Hmm.
make the part. When you cut that off, you're left with you have to cut it very close, which isn't recommended for more advanced and like nicer looking builds
Hmm.
because you'll stress the plastic.
Mm.
But the most of them will now they've gotten to the point where they plan their molds around it. So there are people out there who just if you don't do anything else except cut the pieces out of the runners and put it together, that's called a straight build. And
Mm.
people who do straight builds, they showed off and they're like, this is just a straight build and it looks great. They hide all they're called the marks that'll come off when you cut it. They're called nub marks.
Ah,
When those come off, it's like they're hidden pretty well. They hide them under pieces or they put them on the back side of something, and it's like it's planned out pretty damn well.
that
They're starting to do more of it.
sounds like, because I feel like that's not something that's not like a skill you could pick up easily, I guess. Trying to hide off, those marks.
Yeah, hiding them nowadays. It's like it's not that hard because they plan around it,
Hmm.
and so you don't have to do a lot of work on your end. But you know, 2-3 years ago, if you wanted to hide most of your nub marks, you'd be very careful with how you cut, how you held the runner so you didn't stress it while it's still connected.
Mm.
People would use, if your X-Acto blade had to be, brand new sharp. People would use, if you use sandpaper, it's incredibly fine sandpaper.
Holy hell, dude.
And, back then it's like if you did a kit where there were like no nub marks and it looked beautiful, it's like that was a big thing. But now because a lot of people don't have to worry about that as much, kits are now even looking better than they did before. Because now we don't have to put so much time into getting rid of nub marks.
Mm. I see.
So we can work on other stuff.
I see. I see. I remember that before, like, well, when I was collecting figures, I'm like, oh, model kits, no, they don't look all that good. But then, like, I see the more high quality ones, and then like how people build them, and then I see the finished product. I'm like, okay, you know what? Maybe this is on a
Yeah,
whole different level, and the amount of time people take to do this, props to you, yo. Props to you people out there that finished them. Like, Jesus Christ. Guys, we were having technical difficulties. I don't know if it was from our end or just Discord's end. But look,
of course something has to go wrong.
technology, right? You just gotta love it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Do you know what was the last thing you heard me from or not?
You were talking about like some super the super nice like advanced looking model kits.
Oh, that freaking props to those people that can make those advanced model kits, because dude, they take so much time.
Oh yeah.
And it's like I don't know if you heard me before, but I was saying like, when I was collecting figures, I'm like, the model kits, they don't look all that great. But then like I saw, how complex it can get, and then how beautiful it'll look, the finished product. I'm just like,
Oh yeah.
props to you guys, dude. Props to you guys to handle all that. Because I have you ever like had any problems when making them at all?
I thankfully have not. I have heard stories of people who have maybe left it in like a hot car and they'll take it out and actually the
Oh,
plastic will have warped.
damn,
So it's
dude.
harder to actually put together.
Mhm.
And like that's stuff that thankfully I have not dealt with.
Dude, that sounds like it sucks.
So I mean that kind of shit is almost inevitable
Mhm.
just by the fact of it's plastic. But it always sucks to have it happen. It's not very good.
No, definitely not. All right, the one thing I always had in mind, I don't know if this is true, but all right, if you lose one piece from the model kit, is it GG? It's over? That's it, the model?
It
Or
100% depends on the piece.
okay, oh, okay.
So most of the small pieces that are super super like necessary
Mm-hmm.
in high grades and real grades. We call them polycaps. They're like little plastic rubbery guys,
Yeah.
and they're used on joints to allow them to move.
Mm-hmm.
Now, normally when they make them with a couple extra on the runner.
Mm.
So if you do lose one, you're not completely fucked. But there are times where I have actually, I think recently, I did. What kit was I building?
Oh, you said
Was it
recently?
that?
Oh, bruh.
I know recently I did lose a piece, and I cannot remember the kit. I might not even have it up.
Like while making it?
Yeah, while making, I dropped the piece and I lost it. And I think it was the yellow V fin for a Gundam.
Mm-hmm.
I wanna say that's what it was. Because I remember losing a piece and going, God damn it, this can't like stay in now. Like I fucked it up.
Yeah.
So you can hit that point.
Bruh. That's the one fear I have if I ever want to make a model, cause just I lose a piece, GG.
Yeah, you lose that one part and it's all over. That's why I
Rip
don't like
them
that's why I
apart.
don't like working with super small ones. So I'm like, I'm gonna lose one of these pieces and I'm gonna be fucked. Like something I can do about it.
That's why you usually work with the box, right? You put all the pieces on the
Yep, you
box.
want you want to put all the pieces into a box or a tray or something.
Something where you don't lose it, or
Yeah.
something that it can fall
Don't
off.
don't, work on like depending on the kit, if it's like mostly white, work on a dark surface. If it's mostly dark, work on a light surface
Mm-hmm. So you
kind of
can see the
thing.
pieces.
Yeah, just so you can see the pieces if they fall. But I mean, I don't know. I find that I guess maybe from dropping pieces so much when building, I've found that when I drop a piece, my immediate first reaction is not to like move my chair back and like start looking around for it,
Mm-hmm.
but it's to like sit there, let it drop, and listen to like where it goes. Because 9 out of 10 times I'm normally correct with just listening to where it goes.
Mm-hmm.
And I've just found that's the fucking skill I have is I can just, if I drop something, I can just let it drop and go, okay, it's over here.
You know what? That's one hell of a technique.
Yeah,
Cause like,
it's just I can just hear it.
cause like, when I play video games, obviously, depending on what kind of game you are, you want to keep it quiet, to see where the sound is coming from.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But that's really smart. I didn't think of that. Freaking just stay calm, don't move, and just
Yeah,
hear where
because if
the.
you're gonna, yeah, because if you're gonna just freak out and like move your chair back and go like, oh god, oh god, oh god, it's like you can't listen to it. You don't know where you don't
You
know
don't
where
know
it
where it
went.
is. Yeah. Damn.
So
Bringing
that's
that
a
big brain move out here,
yeah,
yo.
that's some big brain energy, bro.
Dude, oh, because yeah, my usual reaction is when I drop something, I'm like, bruh, where is it? No! Yeah,
Yeah,
and I just realized, I'm like, damn, I can't listen to it and figure out where it went because I'm making all these noise from my chair and my feet or whatever the hell, or
yep.
panicking. I don't know where it is.
And 9 out of 10 times you can just kind of listen to where it went and you go, all right, there it is.
Yep, it should be right here. And oh, what do you know?
Yeah, or at least you'll know like the general area that it went, and then it's like, oh, there you go, I was right.
Maybe one day I'll make a model. I just want to have the experience and say
Yeah,
like I
it's a good
actually built
experience.
something.
It's a nice hands-on thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was always a very hands-on person,
Mm.
so I just gunpla or just big boy Legos.
Big boy Legos.
Plastic models are just big boy Legos. Yeah.
You're not
So
wrong
like,
there.
yeah. So as soon as I picked one up, I was like, cool, I've fucking got this. It was a little bit harder to transfer into from Legos, but you make it work.
Oh man.
I figured it out.
All right, dude. The last thing we're gonna talk about for this episode is
All right.
you have any plans on what you want to do? Like any games later on?
Games to make.
Yeah.
I'm currently doing. I don't know. I'm like, there's a good. I contradict myself on this. I tell other people this sometimes, but I contradict myself on it. And it's a quote by the great Carmichael of Corridor Digital, who's left Corridor Digital. He does his own things. I forget what his D&D thing is called, but his one thing he always said to himself when working at Corridor was, and I'll explain it after I say it, so don't flag this YouTube. Kill your babies.
Jesus.
So what it means is if you have a project or like a video clip that you're just like super fond over, it's like
Mm-hmm.
don't be afraid to kill it because
Oh.
like don't try and make it work. Just because you like something and you like really want to be in there, but it just doesn't work, fucking just kill it. Don't let it distract you.
I
And
see.
that's something I should do a little bit more, but because you know, the whole concept of mechanized assault, my capstone game,
Yeah.
is like that's what I want my end all be all project to be.
Mm-hmm.
That's I would love to see that, on the Xbox game store,
That's almost like any
on
game developer's dream,
Steam. Yeah,
right?
that's your dream. You want your game out there.
And known.
But it's like, but you gotta, I gotta maybe one of these days I gotta kill that dream and just keep it as a side project, instead of I'm saying a lot. Instead of constantly trying to get it out there and get it into
Be
like
recognized.
to be recognized, I should just keep it to a side project that I just do on my own. And maybe one day someone will see it and be like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. But there I go again, kill my baby.
I see
Just
what you
do
mean by
just
that
do
a
it on
little
my
bit.
own. Get a following for it.
But yeah, it should
People
be
want to play it.
so
People
it's
play
like
it.
kind of like don't focus on it too much. Don't like
Yeah,
put more.
don't focus on it too much. Just because it's not working doesn't mean it's bad.
Yeah, it
Doesn't mean
doesn't
you
mean it's
can't
at the
go
end of the
back
world.
to it. But until you figure out a way to make it work, you should kill it for a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Damn.
So remember everyone, kill your babies.
Bruh. But you're gonna still keep making those killer models though, right?
Oh hell yeah. I've
Yeah.
actually just because I've gotten a job now and modeling isn't I really only went super hard into modeling at the time
Mm-hmm.
because I was trying to get a job. But now that I don't have a job, it's like I feel like there's not as much pressure. So I
Uh,
haven't modeled in like over a month.
I mean, hey, like I guess don't like stress over it to like I guess do it. Because
Yeah.
I remember
No.
you told me that felt burned out at one point, right?
Oh yeah. No. I would feel I pretty much had. You could pretty much make a pattern out of it, where I would feel burned out for about a week, and then one day at like 11:30 at night, I would just work for 4 hours straight, and then I would do nothing else for the next week but work,
Damn, dude.
and then I'd be burnt out, and then the cycle would repeat. And it, and
Jesus
it, and it,
Christ.
and it's an absolutely horrible way to work.
Yeah, cause
It's
so
it's
technically it's like a week of working and then a week of just burnout.
yeah, it's a week of just burnout, and it sucks because it's not actual like just stress burnout where I'm just like, oh, I just don't want to model anymore. It's like it's a bad burnout. It's a I'm just bored and I don't even want to play video games.
Oh, dude,
Like
damn.
it's a bad burnout. It's not a good one.
Oh,
And that was something that I just like had to always keep in the back of my head. It's like stop burning yourself out. Like it's such a horrible thing.
yeah.
It's like it doesn't matter how important your thing you want to do is. If you get burnt out doing it,
It
stop.
sucks. It sucks. It sucks when you're in
Stop,
burnout.
take a break, and figure out a schedule that's
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, I'll model from, if I didn't have a job, it'd be like, all right, I'll model from like 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
or let's go like 10 to 5 every weekday. Take the weekend and nights off, play video games.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it so you're not burning yourself out, because that's how you make bad decisions and make bad work.
Burnout is not a good thing. Oh my God. I guess the one thing I could say, the one experience I had with burning out is when I finished my first year of college, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think my first year, my second year, and then like I kept it going. Like I didn't even take a summer break. I just had like one summer class, and then I had like another summer class. And then after that second summer, I'm like, dude, F that, dude. I'm tired.
Yep.
I'm never doing this again, dude. I felt it, so I'm like, oh my God, I regret it. I regret it so much.
I had a really bad burnout after Capstone.
I
And
could,
after I completed
oh,
my game, pretty much after, like, as soon as I got home and like as soon as I was finished, I didn't touch Unity for the entirety of the summer.
oh my God, damn.
I didn't even touch it until like September maybe because I just didn't want to. It wasn't even. Did I touch Unity at all? I think I touched Unity maybe for like a week, 1 month,
Hmm.
and just doing project then back into it. But I just did not touch anything mechanized assault related for like 4 months.
Yeah, like we were saying before, like you're like almost breeding in and out of Unity game engine in general, dude.
Yeah, and at this point, I think I think I'm a little done with Unity, and I'm moving
Mm.
on to Unreal Engine.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
So Unity's good. It's just the Unreal Engine is the better, hotter, older sister.
I've never interpreted it like that way. You're so right on that, dude. Jesus Christ.
Unity might have a good personality, but Unreal Engine's just fucking sexy.
Hmm. Oh man, it definitely is. Oh, oh my God, blueprints. Oh, when I first saw, I'm like, oh, this
Blueprints
is
are great. Holy shit, bro.
there. It's a whole new world.
Blueprints are godsend, bro.
They definitely are, dude. Whole. I gotta get more into Unity. Look at me, I'm already messing
With
with Unreal.
Unreal Engine.
Yeah,
I could
I.
send I could here. I got a couple classes on Unity I got from Humble Bundle on Unity. Unreal Engine. Fucking Unreal Engine that I can send you. I can let you log into my account and do them.
Ah, okay. That'll be
I
cool.
got
But
you.
yeah, I was learning them like I think almost 3 months ago or 2 months ago. Like before I
Yeah,
started
I
this
remember you
YouTube thing.
telling me. Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember I went up to him like, John, the blueprints are godsend.
Yup.
And you're like, yep, that's the power. That's one power of Unity. Yeah, many more to discover, boy.
Hell yeah.
Oh my God. All right, guys. That's gonna do this for this episode of Percast. Do you want to say any of your social medias, John, so people know where to find you or any of the
My
projects you
social
want to work on?
media is pretty much the only thing you're gonna want to find me on is Twitter and ArtStation. Twitter. Let's get Twitter up. Mostly I'm just stalling so I can get Unreal ArtStation up. My Twitter is at Melee John 4. That's Melee Melee John and the number 4. And
And
then if you want to follow me on ArtStation, my ArtStation is Melee John, but no 4 at the end.
oh, bruh.
As you
Wait,
can see, I'm very creative.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God, dude. Thanks for coming in here, man, for
You're
having this
so
little
welcome.
chat.
Thank you for having me.
No problem, man. All right, guys. So that's it for this episode, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out, guys.
Take care.